beginning part of a public hearing for the Department of Hawaiian Homeland Management of Water Systems, adoption of administrative rules. So this first portion of the meeting, in just a few minutes, be an informational briefing. That briefing will consist of a recorded video presentation followed by a question and answer period. The recorded video is about 25 minutes long. And I also wanted to say that we've had some questions about beneficiary consultation. So if you're watching again, or if you're watching this video at a later time, that consultation report is posted on the same webpage, the same address that is provided in the video today. So if you want to check that out, it's the September 2017 Hawaiian Homes Commission submit. And again, it's posted on the website, same long address. It'll be there on the water rules page. Okay. So I will go ahead and start the informational video now. Aloha mai kākou. My name is Hokule Lindsay. I am the Administrative Rules Officer for the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. This is the informational briefing preceding public hearings on proposed amendments to Hawaii Administrative Rules Title 10, and the amendment would add a chapter for the management of water systems. This informational briefing is recorded. We have multiple public hearings, so each public hearing will have the same informational briefing, the same recording played for the informational briefing portion. Once the recording is finished, we will return live to have a question and answer period. So this presentation is going to cover some general background information. We're going to talk a little bit about some specifics of the proposal and highlight some of its contents. So we're not going to talk about all of the details contained in the proposal, but we are going to highlight some of the sections that are significant from the department's perspective. We'll talk about the hearing schedule, where you can find copies of information, and how to submit testimony and what are the deadlines for submitting testimony. We have the department's a very long web address, and that will take you to quite a bit of information about this proposal and the process we've undertaken so far. All you really need to do is go to dhhl.hawaii.gov, plug into the search box, water rules. Once the results come up, just click on the very first one and it will take you to that page. What I want to let you know about that page right now is there is already a video posted, and that video was intended as a refresher about the process that we've undertaken so far. So that video has some different information than what we're going to talk about here, but there's also some overlap. And if you've already watched that video, that's fantastic. Know that there will be some overlap, but I encourage you to stick around for this. Sometimes hearing things a second time in a different way will click some different things in your brain. So stick around for both. If you have not watched it, please, by all means, access that webpage and take a look at the video water rules refresher. So far, the DHHL rulemaking process is represented by this process chart here. The lighter colored squares are what I would call an internal process, more between the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and its beneficiaries. We go through a consultation process with beneficiaries. The darker colored tiles are all related to the formal statutory process required by law in order to adopt, amend, or repeal administrative rules. So you can see here we are at the public notice and hearing stage, and which means we're pretty close to getting final approval and having official rules for water systems. Depending on the comments we receive from these public hearings, we can either go directly through those last 3 steps, or if we determine that some significant changes are needed, then we may need to repeat the public hearing process. So we're pretty close. A couple of different paths that can happen still, but either way, we are fairly close to having official water rules. So now to some of getting to more of the meat of this particular proposal. What is a water system? Actually, a modern day Hawaii system. So it's how we get water from a source to where we need it to be. Our modern water systems consist of tanks and pipes and valves, and they take water from source to delivery. So as you can see in the illustration, water pumps out of the source. If it's drinking water, it goes to a treatment plant, then it's pumped to a storage tank, and from the storage tank, it is pumped to your home or business. Right? Every time you turn on the faucet, because of the system, you are insured to get fresh, drinkable water. The Department of Hawaiian Homelands owns 4 water systems statewide. And these water systems, 3 of them are drinking water systems, and 1 is non-potable, so not for drinking or not for human consumption. The 3 drinking water systems, 1 is located in Anahola on Kauai, another is located in Ho'olehua on Molokai, a third is located on Hawaii Island in Kauai High, and then the 4th, this would be our non-potable water system, is located in Pu'ukapu, which is also on Hawaii Island. For this proposal, Title 10 is DHHL's title of the Hawaii Administrative Rules, and this would be a new chapter, so adding to Title 10. And so this as Chapter 10-4.1, and there are 3 subchapters in the proposal. Subchapter 1 is all the general provisions applying to both drinking water systems and non-drinking water systems, or here in this case specifically to Pu'ukapu, in addition to the drinking water systems. Subchapter 2 deals only with provisions for the drinking water systems, and subchapter 3 is only for Pu'ukapu. At the end of the proposal are attached exhibits, and those exhibits contain water system service rates for each system. Each system has its own complexities. They serve different amounts, different numbers of consumers. They have a different size or different area, amount of area that they cover and service. They draw from different sources. They have different terrain that they go through. So each system has its own complexities, and because of that, they have their own service rates. So moving on to even greater detail within the proposal. The purpose, this is a direct quote from the very first section of the proposal, so it will be 10-4.1-1. The purpose is to promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the community by providing standards for governing water service provided by water systems in the exclusive control of the department. So we have identified 3 themes that can help to explain how these rules will promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the community. So theme number 1 is to standardize operations. Theme number 2 is to protect the water systems from tampering and water theft. And theme number 3 deals with income and maintenance. So we'll go through each of these themes, and I will point out or highlight some specific sections that deal with each. Here is what the proposal looks like. This is the text text of it. If you go to the website and pull up the proposal, you'll get this text. If you go to the district office and ask to review it, this is what it will look like. It'll be identical except for the little bookmarks that I have, which I have created specifically for this presentation. So we'll just go through the table of contents to start. Here's our subchapter 1, general provisions. This contains like all of those sort of standard operations, very similar to what the counties have as rules for their water system. You know, if you live in the service area and you need water to come to your house or to your business, 10-4.1-6 tells you how you apply for water. And so because of these rules, it's going to be the same process, regardless of which system you're, which service area you're in, and which system you would be applying to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands for. Once you get that application, how is water service installed? Who's responsible for the equipment, right? There's different responsibilities depending on whether we're talking about equipment on the consumer side of the meter or whether we're talking about equipment on the department side of the meter, right? How you pay bills, discontinuance of service, restoration of service. If the bill needs to be adjusted for some reason, right? Maybe there's an underground leak, you may be able to adjust for the charges related to that underground leak. If you think the meter is reading wrong, right? The meter can be tested, and if it is reading wrong, you know, the bill may be able to be adjusted. Obstructed meters, tampering, interruption of water supply. Right? If there's a break in the main, water supply may need to be interrupted. So all of those details about how that is done is covered in this subchapter 1, but also a lot of it just deals with standardizing operations, because subchapter 1 applies to all of the water systems. Here you have a bulk of rules that apply across the board, and we know what's going to happen with each system because we've got it in these rules. So moving on to theme number 2, protection from tampering and water theft. I will point out 10-4.1-15, obstructive meter fine, because it does have to do with money and a charge that comes as a result of the water meter being significantly obstructed by landscaping or other barriers such that the meter cannot be read. Right, so if you've got stuff in front of your meter and department personnel cannot access the meter in order to read it, there is a fine associated with that. So just be sure that your meter is clear and easily accessible for reading. Tampering prohibited. This is the very important one that relates directly to protection of the water system and health and safety. So tampering with the water system is treated very seriously, and under the rules, we're dealing with tampering of service laterals, water meters, the valve or stopcock before the meter. If you are found to have been tampering with those things, it's dealt with as a misdemeanor under the Hawaii revised statute, so it's a criminal charge. And the guilty party is also liable for all of the costs associated with any repair of the service lateral, water meter, valve, and stopcock. If those charges are not paid in a timely manner as required, then there is a late fee or late charge associated with that. The next one under protection, dealing with fire hydrants. As you would expect, it talks about, this section talks about the fire department. It also talks about the counties or other governmental entities that may need to draw water from the fire hydrants. But what I want to point out here that's dealing directly with protecting the water systems from damage and from theft of water is D, right? Any person or entities found to have used, obstructed, or tampered with a department fire hydrant without the express written consent of the department shall be assessed fees and charges, including the estimated amount of water taken, water discharged by the department to clear the mains, labor and materials, and administrative costs. So if you're opening a Hawaiian Homelands fire hydrant without authority to open that fire hydrant, you will be liable for all of the water that's discharged. Right? It's essentially stealing water when that happens. So under the rules, anyone found to be opening a fire hydrant without authority to do so will be responsible for those charges. So moving on to our third theme of income and maintenance. The goal of any water system is for it to be self-sustaining. So the money that you pay as a result of your use, right, the billing, that money goes directly back into the water system to make sure that the water system is maintained and then it can run, right? The electric bills, the gas bills, all of that stuff is paid on the part for running the water system. So payment of bills and delinquency is an important issue to the life of and the health of the water system itself. So this section here, 10-4.1-9, talks about when bills are due and payable. That's within 21 days from the date of the bill. Any bill not paid within 30 days shall be considered delinquent and water service subject to shut off. It talks about how you can pay those bills, check, debit, cash, all of those details that come with any type of billing situation. Talks about when an account becomes delinquent, and there is a late payment charge associated with account delinquency. If you run into such a situation, the rules also outline entering into a payment agreement to facilitate the payment of the delinquent water charges. One of the interesting things and unique things here is this concept of alternative payment methods. And this is something that came out of beneficiary consultation and the recognition that sometimes beneficiaries just don't have the cash. So it's not an unwillingness to pay, it's an inability to pay. And in those kinds of cases, we have what we're calling alternative payment methods. So maybe you haven't been working steadily and you can't afford to pay the water bill, but you're a fisherman or a hunter or a farmer, and you've got other goods that you could donate to the homestead community, right? So essentially to your neighbors to help offset the water delinquency charges. So that's an option. You have to work with the district office supervisor to figure out how that should be distributed and what needs to be done. But that is an option. It may also be an option to perform services for the department free of charge. So maybe it's some light maintenance, landscaping or maintenance work that can be done to help offset any delinquency that's owed on the water bills. So the sort of catch here is the Hawaiian Homes Commission has determined that there should be a 5% cap on this. So you can use alternative payment methods to help reduce your delinquency, but you will have to pay some cash to cover the delinquency as well, because there is a 5% cap on your alternative payment methods. We also have provisions about discontinuation of water service. Non-payment of bills and fees is one condition, but there are a total of 5 conditions. Non-compliance with the rules is number 2. Number 3, unauthorized use of water. Number 4, wasteful use of water. Number 5, service detrimental to others. So these are 5 conditions under which water may be shut off. But one of the things about shutting off water is the consumer is entitled to a process, and the process is outlined here in the rules. So if you find yourself in a situation where the department is saying, one of these circumstances exists in connection with your service, and we are going to shut off your water, you're entitled to written notice before the water is shut off. In addition, there is a process where the consumer may dispute the shut off, particularly in relation to billing. But there is a process or a way to dispute the shut off. If water is shut off, then how is water service restored? Essentially, paying in full or entering into an approved payment plan. Finally, I want to just let you see a little bit of the exhibits I mentioned that deal with the water service. Each system has their own service rates, and so each system has its own exhibits. The service rates are detailed out into a forecast for fiscal year 2028. I will take you up a few pages here to subsection or subchapter related to pu'ukapu. We've got the general condition for water service in pu'ukapu. We've got a reference to the monthly maintenance fee. That is attached as Exhibit D for pu'ukapu. Conservation measures and emergency conditions. If there is water shortage or water restrictions that need to be imposed, what happens under those conditions, and then unauthorized drawing of water. Essentially, that's prohibited. And then going up, I also want to show you subchapter 2. So this is our drinking water systems. Again, the water service rates. Each system has its own rates, and so its own exhibit. Ho'olehua is Exhibit A. Kauai High, Exhibit B. Anahola, Exhibit C. Talks about meter reading and rendering of bills. When does that happen? And also the conservation measures and emergencies. So those are the highlights of some of the sections of the rules. So going back to our PowerPoint slide, our public hearing schedule, 3 online hearings, November 18 and 19. That's Wednesday and Thursday. The briefing starts at 5:30, public testimony to start at 6 or immediately following the briefing. November 20th, that's Friday. This one is during the daytime. The briefing is at 11:30, public testimony to begin at 12 p.m., so lunchtime. If you are interested in participating in any of those, so providing public testimony, send us an email at dhhl.hawaii.gov to sign up. We will send you a Microsoft Teams meeting link so that you can participate. Review a copy so you can get more information. A copy of the proposal, the full text, like I was going through, is available. Again, without the bookmarks, but the full text is available at the department website. You can also review a copy at any district office. You can ask the district office to make you a hard copy so that you can have one of your own, but it costs 10 cents a page. And if you noticed, as we were going through the rules, it is a 42-page document. There's that long web address again. Lots of information on that page, not only the refresher video, but the public note, links to the live streams and the videos once the public hearings get underway, information about the public hearings, commission submittals that have been presented as we've gone through this process. All of that is available on this DHHL dhhl.hawaii.gov. Again, just go to the homepage, plug in water rules. When the results come up, click on the first one and it'll link you to that page. If you're interested in giving testimony, again, you can give oral testimony, shoot us the email, we'll send you the link. If you don't have a computer that has a camera and microphone and all of that stuff, send us the email anyway. Provide us with your name, some contact information, and which hearing you would like to participate in, and we'll send you the link. Or if you don't have a computer, like I was saying, we'll send you a phone number and you can participate just by calling in. You can give your oral testimony. If you decide that giving testimony on the internet is not for you, you can send us an email to the same address with your testimony. If you would like to write it out or type it out, print it and send it in the mail, you can do that as well. Just make sure that it's postmarked or sent by December 3rd. I do want to make sure that you folks remember and are aware that these hearings are online. They are being live streamed. So if you decide to give oral testimony, that testimony will be recorded. It will be live streamed, and then it will be available on the department website, because that video will be available on the department website after the fact. All right, so it'll kind of live there on the department website. Just so that you are aware of that. So that concludes the informational presentation. We will take question and answers, and then we will move on to the public hearing as soon as the question and answer period has concluded. Thank you. So we will take question and answers. We did have one email request to participate, but I don't that person present at the moment. So we'll just I'll put up the holding slide, and we'll wait a couple minutes, maybe till 12:04 or 12:05 or so, and then we'll open the public hearing. Okay. That person still has not joined, so we will start the public testimony and public hearing portion. If you would like to participate by giving oral testimony, then go ahead and email us at dhhl.adminrules@hawaii.gov, and we'll get you linked in. But right now, what I will do is open the hearing by reading the public testimony or the public notice that was published in the papers in order to officially open. Aloha. It is now 12:06 on Friday, November 20th, 2020. This public hearing is being held using video conferencing technology due to COVID-19 public health dangers associated with in-person gatherings. This hearing is available as a Microsoft Teams meeting and as a live stream on the Department of Hawaiian Homeland's webpage. This public hearing on proposed amendments to Title 10 Hawaii Administrative Rules is called to order. I am Hokule Lindsay, and I am the presiding officer today. Now I will read the public notice as published in newspapers statewide. State of Hawaii, Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Notice of Public Hearings on Proposed Hawaii Administrative Rules. Pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statutes, HRS, Chapter 91, notice is hereby given that the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, DHHL, will hold statewide online public hearings to afford all interested persons an opportunity to submit data, views, or arguments orally or in writing on the proposed adoption of Chapter 10-4.1 under Hawaii Administrative Rules, HAR Title 10, Department of Hawaiian Homelands, entitled Management of Water Systems. The proposed chapter provides standardized practices for the management of the DHHL-owned water systems. The proposed chapter also provides service rates, meter reading and rendering of bills, and conservation and emergency measures for DHHL-owned public water systems in Anahola, Kauai, Ho'olehua, Molokai, and Kauai High, Hawaii. Provisions for general conditions, monthly maintenance fee, conservation and emergency measures, and unauthorized drawing of water are included for the DHHL-owned non-potable water system in Pu'ukapu, Hawaii. An informational briefing will be held immediately before each public hearing. Due to COVID-19 public health dangers associated with in-person gatherings, the public hearings and informational sessions will be held entirely online via video conferencing technology. All interested persons may view a pre-recorded presentation describing the proposed rules, which is currently available for viewing on the DHHL web at https://hh.hawaii.gov/hhc/department-of-Hawaiian-home-lands-administrative rules-administrative-rules-management-of-water-systems. There are two ways to participate in the public hearings: online via the internet or by telephone, or by written testimony. All interested persons are urged to participate to present relevant information and individual opinion for the DHHL to consider. Hearings will be held on the following dates and times. Wednesday, November 18, 2020. Informational 5:30 p.m. Public hearing 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Thursday, November 19, 2020. Informational briefing 5:30 p.m. Public hearing 6 o'clock to 7 p.m. Friday, November 20th, 2020. Informational briefing 11:30 a.m. Public hearing 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. Online. Persons may present live video/oral testimony via internet or telephone during the online public hearing. To participate, you will need either a computer with internet access, video camera, and microphone, or a telephone. To sign up, please email your request to dhhl.adminrules@hawaii.gov at least 48 hours in advance. Please include the hearing date you would like to testify, your email, full name, and phone number. A confirmation will be sent to you with instructions and the meeting link and call-in number. You can live stream the public hearing on the DHHL website at dhhl.hawaii.gov/live. Each hearing will be recorded and will be available for viewing on the DHHL website within 24 hours after the hearing. Written testimony. Any person may file written testimony to the proposed rulemaking by email or mail postmarked by December 3rd, 2020 to attention Administrative Rules, Department of Hawaiian Homelands, P.O. Box 1879, Honolulu, Hawaii 96805, or email dhhl.adminrules@hawaii.gov. All oral and written testimony is public information. Please do not include information in your testimony that you do not want disclosed to the public. The Hawaiian Homes Commission shall take final action on this rulemaking at a future regularly scheduled commission meeting. The proposed rule amendments are currently available for review through December 3rd, 2020 online at https://dhhl.hawaii.gov/hhc/hawaii-administrative-rules and between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. at the DHHL main office on Oahu at 91-5420 Kapolei Parkway, Kapolei, Hawaii 96707, and at any DHHL district office in East Hawaii at 160 Baker Avenue, Hilo, Hawaii 96720, in West Hawaii at 64-756 Mamalahoa Highway, Kamoala, Hawaii 96743, on Maui at 655 Kaumuali'i Street, Wailuku, Hawaii 96793, on Molokai at 600 Mauna Loa Highway, Kaunakakai, Hawaii 96748, on Kauai at 3060 Ava Room 203 in Lihue, Hawaii 96766. A copy of the proposed rule amendments will be mailed to any person who requests a copy in writing. The request must state the requester's name and mailing address and be delivered to the DHHL main office at P.O. Box 1879, Honolulu, Hawaii 96805. For more information, email dhhl.adminrules@hawaii.gov or call 808-620-9280. To request a sign language interpreter, please contact the DHHL Information and Community Relations Office on Oahu at 808-620-9590 at least 7 days in advance of the public. Signed, William J. Isla Jr., Chairman, Hawaiian Homes Commission, October 15, 2020. So the purpose of this hearing is to afford all interested persons opportunity to submit data, views, or arguments, orally or in writing, on matters relevant to the issues identified in the notice of public hearing, which was just read. We will not provide any response to any question asked tonight. We are in listening mode only. Each testifier will be called in the order he or she signed in. When your name is called, please activate your camera and microphone and speak directly into your mic, stating your name, address, and whether you represent an organization. Then begin your oral comments. Each testifier is limited to 15 minutes. If time permits, additional time may be granted upon request. After all testifiers have presented and any person whose request for additional time was granted may present additional relevant testimony. So the public hearing is now open, and we will wait for any possible testifiers to come forward. Otherwise, we will finish at and close at 1 o'clock. Thank you for your time this afternoon. Please visit the DHHL website for updates on these proposed amendments to Title 10 Hawaii Administrative Rules. Thank you to everybody who may have been watching. Thank you to staff who are present and for your help answering questions and getting set up and getting through these public. I appreciate it very much. And this hearing is adjourned at 1:02 p.m. on Friday, November 20th, 2020.